By Jacqueline Breen Updated February 22, 2019 8 hours 16 minutes and 11 seconds An Aboriginal man in Darwin who stole 2 bottles of wine spent 3 months in jail in part because of a more serious charge that was eventually withdrawn. Key points: CCTV footage showed no basis for a charge of robbery. The more serious charge meant the case took longer to resolve. Lawyers say overcharging is an everyday problem in the NT. Lawyers say it is a run-of-the-mill situation for the Northern Territory, but one that highlights procedural obstacles and delays that can clog up the courts and strand people in prison. White man John Cheek, 46, was charged with stealing and robbery in November. He was very drunk when he entered the Liquorland store in Casuarina and then walked out with 2 bottles of wine stuffed down his pants, ignoring the store manager who told him to stop. He pleaded guilty to stealing the alcohol. But the more serious charge of robbery, which involves the use or threat of violence, was withdrawn in court last week after the defense lawyer had reviewed CCTV and notified the prosecutor that there was no basis for it. By that time Mr. Cheek had spent 3 months behind bars. The prosecutor did not comment on the late withdrawal of the charge. She told the court the stealing was a brazen example of offending that is rife in the Northern Territory and should be considered in light of Mr. Cheek's lengthy record of convictions for petty theft. But while she told the court that previous sentences had not stopped him reoffending, she said another prison sentence was warranted to try to achieve that. Mr. Cheek was sentenced to 3 months in prison. Delays, overcharging and under-resourcing, clogging courts and jails. The robbery charge that was initially stuck on Mr. Cheek's case meant it was filed with more serious matters that can take several weeks to process, according to the head legal officer at NAAJ, David Woodruff. A robbery charge can carry a presumption against bail under the Northern Territory Bail Act, although it is not clear if that was the only reason Mr. Cheek was remanded in November. But the CCTV footage that cleared him of robbery had been available from the beginning. What this case illuminates is that matters need to be investigated more quickly and appropriate charges decided upon at a much earlier stage, David Woodruff said. Mr. Cheek's experience is not an isolated one, according to Marty Ost, the president of the NT Criminal Lawyers Association. Every single day people ultimately are let out of jail when charges are withdrawn or plead guilty to a charge far lesser than the most serious charge on their file, he said. Then, they're sentenced to less than the time they've already served. Northern Territory Police are conducting a review of overcharging in relation to youth matters, but did not say when charging in relation to adult offending was last reviewed. While Mr. Ost stressed the need for law reform, David Woodruff said in the interim the current system is not resourced, so that we do have the bodies, so people are actually looking into the briefs, so that our courts are not clogged with matters, so that our custody lists are not 50 or 60 matters a day. Last year, 29% of the Northern Territory's record prison population was on remand, according to Australian Bureau of Statistics figures. Topics: crime, courts and trials, laws, Indigenous policy. Darwin 0800, first posted February 22, 2019 7 hours 55 minutes and 37 seconds.